Everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and welcome back to another episode of I completely missed something incredibly obvious and spend 90 minutes trying to find it. In any case, we just finally found Edgeworth, getting him to move the plot along. The plot progression is happening. Long story short, that one cop is now, whatchamacallit. He is now, on trial for the murder of that other cop. That's what's happening. That's the story. Anyways, inquiry committee. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided not to treat this as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Which I assume he'll tell me about after this next thing. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department. The police department. Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I mean, shouldn't it be done by detectives anyway? Isn't that the point of the investigation? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that's how it worked. Oh, whatever. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Still. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Okay, I guess I have to present him with something. Oh yeah, this thing. Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? A record of ID card usage? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the room... Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police. I feel like I'm doing the wrong voice for her. I feel like I'm, for some reason, doing like... Oh yeah, New York. As opposed to Australian. Hey, mate. Dingo and the Barbie. The Chief of Police? A1 or AI16. Speaking of, have you guys heard of that thing where you feed something like a 10-second voice clip and you can make the person say anything or whatever? I think I'm immune to that because, one, I'm already technically an AI by the virtue of the fact that I'm an android, but two, I'm pretty sure my speech patterns are just so odd that it's kind of like hard to figure out for the robot how to say what the thing is that I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like I'd be a little harder to replicate than most. But I don't want to test that. So anyway, he wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask you what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Well, now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence. Screwdriver added to the court record. Stubborn as always. I told you this had nothing to do with the current case. But let's go investigate that screwdriver, shall we? Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on, anyway? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him. Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some kind of reaction out of him. AI 16. The tag says AI 16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said. That makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? Doesn't seem like there's anything else in this I can get out of it. Can't unscrew the thing, can't... Whatever. Alrighty then. How about this bad boy? Okay, so say, yeah, same thing. How about this thing? Man, this guy looks like a bird when he's angry. Not a euphemism or anything, it's just he looks like a literal falcon or something. I feel like he's gonna try to steal, like, my hot dog at the beach. Or, like... Oh, wait, do something. Nope. Looks like one of those, whatchamacallit, you know those ducks with, like, the shoebill horn thing or whatever? How they always look angry? It's like that thing that, Link's bird in Skyward Sword was based off of. Man, that's... looks angry. Best evidence, best evidence. This thing? Nah! Oh, man. Edgeworth. Come on, buddy. I show him my best evidence. Back to bird mode. Alright. Wait, talk? No. Alright. Present. I'm gonna give him a... Wait. I've got this, guys. Don't worry. But it's my badge, Edgeworth. You like seeing my badge. Okay, that's literally in your office. Don't even act like that's not yours. One way or another, Edgeworth. I'll brute force this if I have to. I will get this done. Oh, wait, what? Huh? What? Hold up. Nope. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Can I get, like, a transcript of what just happened? Nope. Man. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. It looked like he was gonna say the same thing. It's not my fault. I mean, it is my fault. It's exclusively my fault. But hey, you know, what if it wasn't? Okay, Edgeworth. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Oh, wait, did I just... Was this the thing? I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on. The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You were the man who revived the worst memory of my life. Figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Okay, yeah, that's what he's talking about. Okay. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. Is that a joke about something like just... They usually have a lot of joke names in this. Is Damon Gant a joke name? Hey, I'm doing a pog face. Hey, look at that. That's fun. Anyway. Let me think. Damon Gant. Nah, I got none. Alright. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why... What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science... Huh? Yes, of course. If you were still studying forensic science... Well, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have a use for this. Well, I forgot to check if the audio works. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright, it works. Alright. Aluminium powder for testing Aluminium powder for taking fingerprints. Aluminium powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. Imagine framing your suit. Yeah, it's a bit pompous, but you know, it kind of fits with the rest of him. He's still got a cravat. You know, he's got like the necktie thing with the layers and the ruffles and all that. I feel like I would expect him to do something like that. It'd be weirder if he didn't. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting set and fingerprint file received. Yeah, welcome to the stream, Jan. Right, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Such as that one place I actually checked last time, yeah. This time I'm gonna cover all the bases. Where am I going? Here. I'm actually going to, make sure I do everything properly. As opposed to doing it all improperly, which is what I normally do, but, yeah. February 23rd. Evidence room, Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Oh. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. I'm gonna say the thumb. Or, oh, I can also pick the other ones. Look at that. I'm gonna go for the thumb. It's the most complete. It's also sideways, so... Yeah, I remember so well how you expertly found the handprint in under 30 seconds. Oh, absolutely. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With the A button. See? What's an A button? Looks like that did the trick. The aluminium powder adheres completely to the point. The aluminium powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With the Y button. Exciting, I know. Again, what's a button? What is a button in this case? Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow. That looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Oh yeah, I'm dusting up everything! They call me Dusty! Oh, I'm gonna get arrested for this amount of aluminum powder. If you catch my drift. Oh, it's gonna be a white Christmas here. I can feel it. Al Pacino wishes he had what I have. Oh god, of course you pronounce aluminium like that. Well, she's Australian in terms of the way I'm playing her, so of course she's gotta sound like that. Oh! Well, I covered all my bases, if nothing else. Haha, you did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Maybe he was made of silly putty. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Look at the locker door again closely. Oh, there's one. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Like that one. Dusty returns! And blow. Is there... Yeah? No, I got it. We're good. I've already got the print. Do I need more? More powder? Okay, yeah, that was it. I just really thought this through this aluminum gameplay. Yeah, this is the first aluminum type game. The first time in a game you can just blow on an aluminum print to get fingerprints, I guess. True detective gameplay. You know, I gotta be honest, I do wonder why human fingers have such detailed, like, patterns on the fingertips. It just feels kind of weird to me. I'm sure there's a reason for it, I just don't know what it is. Yay! A print so clear, it's dazzling! Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Sure. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. There's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to do... How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprint are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprint will we most likely find in this evidence locker? Gumshoe? Because I'm guessing it's Gumshoe. Yeah! It's 11, so it's 16 similar. Literally the same thing. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this say what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Yeah, thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. And I know where that one is. I know for a fact. No, not... Hold on. Okay, never mind. Not what I was trying to do, but just good to have anyway, I guess. I need to use the spray. Alright. Aha! This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. And then we just find like a full album of Prince's music in there. That's the spirit. Oh, but I do have to warn you about something first. What? Aluminium is highly toxic and will kill you if you blow it. It's not just fingers. Ears are actually so unique to every person that researchers say it's a better way to identify someone than even a fingerprint. Oh, really? Huh. I guess that does make sense. Like, sometimes it's like... You know, just really oddly shaped or whatever. And I guess fingerprints can also be kind of changed by like hazardous chemicals and heat and all that, but it's a little harder to get rid of an ear, you know? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints? Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Oh. Let's dust it up, boys. Dust. Oh man, did anyone ever see the movie Ted, which is the one made by the Family guy, Seth MacFarlane? It's like the talking teddy bear that a kid gets when he's a kid, then he grows up with it, and then it's like all weird, and then Mark Wahlberg's there, and he's like trying to do cocaine with Flash Gordon. I remember that. The real reason Vincent Van Gogh cut off his ears. Yeah, trying to evade the law. Ah, it's a ghost? I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clearer result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. The thumb. Okay, wait, if the index was right here, the thumb has to be around... Unless... Oh man, this is some really tough Strand type gameplay. Having to find an invisible thumbprint. Okay, wait. So, clearly, middle ring. We tried the index. I cannot see a single other place that would also work. Unless this man had, like, ginormous thumbs. Okay, there we go. See, guys, it's about being thorough. Same thing. Same one. Hold on. I've got this. I'll dust everywhere except that one print. Let's move on to a different finger. Can't do this one, or that invisible one, which also exists. Unless, wait, what if that was the ring finger? This is the thumb. Which would make sense with the size. And that makes that one the pinky. Aha! Okay, fine. I will dust it slightly more for you. What do you want from me, Emma? What are you going for here? What's your game plan? Emma. Come on. This is fine. We can see the fingerprint. It is okay. Let me go. Okay. No. No. Also no. Wait, is it me? No, it's not him either. It's also not Gumshoe. Oh, it's Jake Marshall, the cowboy. It's also not, yep, none of them. All right. It's Cowboy Man. I do kind of like the idea of, though, of Vincent Van Gogh cutting off his ear because he's like, the police will know who I am. I have to Weasley myself or whatever. Hey, these fingerprints, I guess it's just Van Goghing yourself, though, if it's like you cut off your ear, because then it's, you know. Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped bloodstain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued. I like how it says saving content and then acting like I need to actually go out and save my content as well. Like, if it's saving, why should I have to save then in addition to that? Officer Marshall's covering for someone, I bet. I actually think that Lena, or, you know, the defendant lady, is covering for him because apparently she has a history with him. Or something. Alrighty then, boyos and girlos. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But, Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. February 24th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lena Skye. Again. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... What is... I'm afraid to have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. You never said you were ready, dude. You needed to say that you're ready. Otherwise, how are we supposed to know? In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Better call Bruce Goodman, I guess. You should if he wasn't dead. He's actually quite dead at the moment. So, that's a problem. Hey, Firewall, welcome to the stream. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls Exodia, the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekin, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. Why do I even try to defend people? How have you been? I've been doing just fine, Firewall. How have you been? You're telling us you're a professional killer. Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Yeah, I got nothing. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for having a lack of enthusiasm. He's guilty, game over. If only it were that simple. I think it would have been hilarious if they actually, put up the verdict right there that said guilty, and then Phoenix was like, wait, hold on, let's hear him out. Give him a chance. Crime report, sir. Why is Grossberg's theme playing? Honestly, good question. Maybe that's Grossberg in disguise. He just stuffed himself into a small policeman's outfit. Although it's not normally my duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted the suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others what they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. So are you trying to make everyone deaf? Or whatever. How you doing, Firewall? I see. Then you fainted and the colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. This defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need to hear is more info to work with. Crime report, sir. I don't need to read it again. I'm not doing that again. Alright, sure. What is your normal duty? Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Really? Alright. Yikes. Now, there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I was to ensure that it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. Can you give him kind of an Otacon voice? Alright, I'll try. Just like one of my Japanese animes. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. That chief of detectives always keeps you waiting, huh? Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted. Oh, Otacon. Alright. I spotted the suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. Plot twist, the Sonic mascot was the murderer. Honestly, would not discount that as a possibility. This game is pretty wild. This is like, it's kind of like the more grounded version of Danganronpa. Not that that's saying that much, but, you know. Danganronpa took Ace Attorney and was like, man, how could I make this even weirder? And then it did. Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Uh-oh. There it is! I found it! This is the one right here. There it is, Snake. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. 96. I can say x sounds. See? I'm not slurring all my words like normal. I see, huh? I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. In what kind of animes is Otacon into? American Spy fights a metal ninja with a bouncing bullets and Wee pisses himself in the locker. That's a good question. Honestly, also, like, that was... When does that take place chronologically? Like 1980, something like that? What anime around then would that have been? Just like one of my Japanese animes. I gotta wonder... I cannot think of anything off the top of my head from that timeline. Maybe Metal Gear is different anime. Who knows? Maybe that's... Maybe there was like an anime adaptation of Metal Gear Rising as like a prophecy before it even ever came out. Maybe that's why they know about cyborg ninjas. Who knows? Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That's when I spotted the man at the security screen. Okay. Good to know. Suddenly attacked. Yeah. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Just like one of my American normal shows. Detective Goodwin pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked at me, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Wow, Phoenix, that's kind of mean. Accurate, but kind of mean. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash in my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. And Metal Gear Solid 1 takes place in 2005. Okay. 2005, and it has to be a show with a cyborg ninja. Let me think. There's probably at least one, right? There's gotta be, you know? Maybe... Let me think. Was Ghost in the Shell standalone complex out by that point? And if so, I feel like this cop would be scary AF in the military, one who follows orders. Yeah, good soldiers follow orders. I played Danganronpa. Oh, I played Danganronpa. I played the first two, beat them. Third one I have not beaten yet. I've seen a little bit of the third anime, so we'll see about that later. But yeah, no, I love Danganronpa. I think it'd be fun to play those on this channel, now that it's been a few years since I played them the first time. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. They're just like my Japanese animes. The man just let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! Came out in 2002. Okay, yeah, standalone complex. That could be it, because that has invisible cyborgs that are kind of ninjas, and some of them have swords occasionally. Wait, did they? Actually, I don't remember whether or not there were ever swords. I could have sworn there was at least one part that was a sword fight, but like, I think it was mostly guns. Oh well, either way, that kind of works. You could have seen that. That's a Japanese anime with cyborgs and invisible ninjas and whatnot. and invisible cyborg ninjas. There you go. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. He was like, yeah, he said to me, kept you waiting, huh? About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. I had a gash in the palm of your hand would cause something resembling a sea of blood. I mean, maybe if it, like, hit, like, an artery or something like that, or, like, a vein or something. I'm not entirely sure if there are arteries in the hand, but if there were, maybe? Could be. I don't know. I'm not a blood doctor. What's the term for that? A hemologist? I'm not a hemologist. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand, and before all the blood got out of my hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? That's the question. He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The Chief? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? If you're gonna run it, maybe play the Danganronpa on the channel, at least for me. The series is very nostalgic. Oh, I agree. It's got a lot of great stuff in it, a lot of, like, fun, like, references to other things. It's got the Ace Attorney vibe, which I love. I love Danganronpa. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, that's a videotape. Now, for all you kids out there that are too young, that's what DVDs kind of replaced. You just put it into something, then it plays the tape, and you gotta rewind the tape all the way if you want to go back to the beginning, because it's got those little two spools in there that play the video. Just so you kids out there know. What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That is oh, yeah. Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? What? I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. I'm just following orders, sir. And then it pans out to show that this is like the Nuremberg trials. What's a DVD? Only of the internet videos in cloud. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha. You know, there probably will be kids like that someday. They're like, what's a disc? And then we show them like the little reflective thing you used to play video games on, and it's like, man, you people are old. And I'm not exactly young already, so like, it'll hurt. It'll do extra damage. Looks like the communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. You're the one who used it for... Never mind. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? And this just goes on like the, that one subreddit I think that hopefully got banned, Watch People Die. Remember that one? The one where you watch people die? It's actually videos of people getting killed or whatever. Okay, this looks like a horror movie. Like some Five Nights at Freddy's shit. Look at this. I feel like we need a more comprehensive camera and... Wow, an actual animated thing. I feel like we need a more comprehensive camera in the evidence room. It's a 3D model too, dang. Nice. Androids use discs. Kind of cringe. Oh. This is kind of a funny little cut-in. Cutscene, whatever you want to call it. I don't think that guy died. Call me crazy, I just do not think he's... I didn't see a body. Huh. Even Robocop uses a kind of USD stick that can conveniently be used as a stabbing weapon. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he did use that to kill a guy in the first movie or something like that. That was funny. That was interesting. He had like a USB spike. Call me Murphy. Or whatever. It's been years since I've seen that. It's Five Nights at the Evidence Room. That could be kind of a cool game. You know, trying to prevent people from stealing evidence from a locker or something like that. That could be fun. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Oh man, just give Phoenix a break. Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that all the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of activity occurred. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir. Oh, wait, wrong voice. Yes, sir! As you wish, sir. Alright. Just... Man, this case is wild. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, when he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Bro, Sonic totally covered everything important. Yeah, he does that. Just imagine, like, you're like a security guard at the place, and you're just watching, and all of a sudden on the screen, you're like, you're too slow. That's no good. And Sonic's just eating a chili dog right in front of the camera at all times, trying to block stuff. And yes, in the movie's like, move where? I'm the fastest hedgehog alive. I can move wherever I want. And then he runs after everything has already happened, and you see like 8 dead bodies behind him. He just hides, man. I'm obscuring the evidence. That's no good. Better luck next time, coppers. That'll teach you to interfere with my business. I do wonder what's up with that green strap on Meekin's arm. I assume it has something to do with his rank in the police. I think it's like one of those like... I've seen similar things in like anime for like disciplinary committee stuff where they have like an armband that shows what kind of club they're in. And I'm pretty sure for him it's like just showing that he's like a general affairs officer or whatever. I can't read it. The armband thing. Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything else begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Mystery Man! His face can't be clearly seen in the video. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife. Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. But are you a stepladder? Huh? I thought that was funny. What are you doing? Oh, you know, I'm lifting at the gym while watching a VTuber Android stream Ace Attorney. Oh, that's, yeah. Hey, good for you lifting at the gym, though. It's good for you to stay healthy. Good on ya. Good to know that my streams are good workout material. All right, another 10 reps. Let's go. Let's go. Another 10. Doesn't matter if you're over the weight. Doesn't matter if the bars in your throat. Another 10 reps. Let's go. Let's go. I believe in you. Come on. Pain is weakness leaving the body. The latter, but you were standing right in front of him, were you not? Wouldn't that make you a steplat? Okay, I already made that joke. More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. You might want to rethink that. Objection, a stepladder has newels on the sides, but as opposed to a ladder, a stepladder has flat steps instead of rungs. In addition, a stepladder often has a platform, making it easier to stand. That's true, yeah. It's the dumbest joke in all of Ace Attorney, but it's also one of the funniest. The stepladder thing. I have a stepladder because my real ladder left when I was small. You guys are great. Alright. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen. I'm aware of that. Okay. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. No, Trucy in the fourth game going on and on about a panties is the silliest joke. Okay, yeah, no, that's true. That has to be one of the... That's one of the most bizarre bits in the entire franchise. Oh man, that was nuts. Tell us why you are positive it was him. Okay, here we are. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. Wait, why? They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kinds of methods he tried. Did he try a Dave & Buster's point card? I hear it doesn't work at TGI Fridays. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, he must be the person with the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. In this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir. From people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I cannot type today. I genuinely woke up like 30 minutes ago. Oh well, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I can understand what you're saying for the most part. I've verified this information through a more reliable source. I see. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have done it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Oh, yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defendant can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court records again. Is there a problem with the security video? There's gotta be a problem with it. Regarding the video contained in this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. But if you've ever watched Lupin 3rd, Lupin made gloves out of another person's fingerprints to open a fingerprinted door. Yeah, no, that's always possible. I've even heard of things where people will take like a piece of tape with like a mark of the fingerprint on it and then use that to open stuff. I'm not sure if that actually works, but I've heard that that does things, you know? It's strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may or may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. And probably one of the last. Ever. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Okay. That dropping the glove was kind of suspicious. The timing on the badger still just gets me. I thought that was like an eyeball or something like that. Trying to see if there's something like... No, wait, I think I got it. Let me check, actually. Let me check the picture of his body. No, not that. Where's the picture of his dead body? Come on, where is it? Or was it not admitted to evidence? Dude, there's so many layers to this video. I know. There's a lot. Trying to see, though. I could have sworn there was something about a picture with, Hold on, let's see. Anything on here I can find that would determine stuff. No, it's got his normal coat. I do not apparently have access to that picture where, he was stabbed. Oh, wait, isn't that Edgeworth's knife? Right there? The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. He just put his eye drops in for nothing. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again, Now what do I do? Yeah, play the video again. I clearly messed something up. What do they want you to prove right now? Prove who Detective Goodman is, right, yeah. Or prove that he's not. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Yep. Alright. Yeah, I got it. First time ever. Yep. Let's go. How do I prove that this guy is Detective Goodman? Or is not? Anything right here. Anything right here that I can see. Anything at all. Let's see. He dropped that glove, yeah, but... Let's see. Thought something looked kind of weird with his left hand there for a sec. How do I prove who this is? The judge took off his contact lens, used eye drops, put his contacts back in just to prove a point. Because of the glove thingy, what was left the door open? See, I thought it was the glove too. And then he's gone when it turns back, which leads me to believe that he's hiding behind this thing. But... let me see. What else would prove that? Also, the bloody fingerprint is... the bloody handprint is gone. Whoever's holding the door open, I think. Oh, okay, that could be it. Maybe, or... maybe it just fell out. Could be. Could be big. Has got to be this! Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may or may not be Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I almost walked right into the fence's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats. This was something that's tackle this one piece at a time. Play the video again. We're doing this till we get it right. Okay, the glove was apparently not the answer. Something that proves it's not... oh, wait. thing that's strange about this... Okay, so I got it wrong again. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. Play the video again. It is weird that the light is on because it was like... It's clearly open. Hold on. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir, do you mean, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab a handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match... Which, by the way, if that's Gumshoe's locker, then I wonder who the picture of that woman is. Is it his wife? Is it his mother? Who knows? The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yeah. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker... Let's rewind for a little earlier. Couldn't be a Crusher 8 years younger than Gumshoe, right? Ah, of course it couldn't be. Couldn't be at all. Besides, Gumshoe's at the ripe old age of... I don't know... Wait, how old is Gumshoe, actually? He's gotta be at least 30, right? Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. The light was on, indicating that it was unlocked before the detective showed up. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking there. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. I think the glove should have also been able to prove that's not Goodman, but you know how strict Ace Attorney is with evidence. Yeah, you always gotta be precisely on the mark. You can't give like an alternate thing that would also kind of work. You gotta do the thing that would exactly work for that specific thing that's being said. Even though other stuff might work. Maybe it's a coding thing, maybe that's why they couldn't do it, who knows. Or maybe they just wanted it to be like a very specific sort of thing. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor was triggered. And the locker was automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. White, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, oh, he's doing the thumbnail pose, yeah. This isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say. Hey, it's that glove thing you were talking about there, Johnny boy. You did it. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the... Okay. Now you show the glove. Yeah, now I show the glove, even though I should have shown it before. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it has been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Oh, I did forget to put the suit on. Well, I guess it's casual Wednesday in court today. Oh well. Man, knew I forgot something. Actually, you know what? Hold on, this is unacceptable. I need to wear my proper court no, I'm not gonna stop the stream for that. No, it's just casual Wednesday. Casual Wednesday is what it is. Classic head attire. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times you get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But, sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck inside the locker door? Rubber glove. Yeah, baby, yeah. I'm too damn good. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. It is kind of weird to have a witness not constantly working against me to try and get the case re-hidden. Order! 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 So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Phoenix just being like, man, I went to law school for this. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man, quote unquote, 2. All right. There's one other thing that proves that I'm the best at what there is. I'm the best there is at what I do, Bob. And what I do is getting paid less than minimum wage for working as a lawyer. Oh, Phoenix riding in on his bike while Edgeworth rides in his giant Ferrari. Oh yeah, I love that scene. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. The detective had used his card. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Ooh. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. No, Phoenix didn't go to law school. He didn't even know what a cross-examination was, despite the fact that's all he does. Wow, he just walked up and became a lawyer, didn't he? You can't just steal someone else's ID card? You probably can, and that's probably what happened here, but let's let him cook for a minute. Let him cook. Let him cook. Special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Mystery Man 2, alright. Kinda random, but in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ghost Rider straight up tells Phoenix, do you know how many lawyers are in hell? Oh, that's funny. That actually is really funny. I remember trying to play as Phoenix in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I just couldn't get the combos right. I just could not play as him, unfortunately. Couldn't make it work. Dante was good for me, though. I like Dante. Devil May Cry is awesome. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as snake, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Why not with your other... But you have two... You have two hands. Never mind. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Like I said, Emma, fantastic police work. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Dante was good for everyone, if I'm being honest. Yeah, Dante's kind of a fun all-rounder. Okay, let's see this. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said it was 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck out of my car? Remember how I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Hey, Jumea! Welcome to the stream. Hey, sorry to not really be active thoughts feed. Don't worry, I'm not dead. I was actually somewhat worried, but hey, good to know that you're alive there, Jumea. Great news. Hey, see you, Jumea. Have a good day. When a D card is used with the record of it, I don't really need to press him on that because I already know that. Let's press him on this. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me. He didn't show me his ID. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Okay. You know what would be a nice crossover? DC and JoJo, since Warner Bros. Technically owns both. That would be interesting. Yeah. Just like, you could make a lot of really funny matchups between, like, Batman trying to figure out other people's, stand or whatever, like, based on the way they use this ability, I can only assume their power is to make people turn into cartoon characters. And, like, maybe the plot is that Bohemian Rhapsody brings all of them to life, so it's still, like, in canon in the universe. That could be funny. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Well, what we've got is mostly not that much. Let it be noted that this. Let it be noted that this is the record for the. Let it be noted that. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. Detective Goodman? What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. DC is technically somewhat canon to JoJo anyway, because all the manga in part 2, I believe Joseph reads Action Comics #1. Huh. That's funny. And then there was that thing in the manga about how Bohemian Rhapsody made Batman exist. And he was like climbing the side of a building or whatever, but they couldn't show it in the anime because of like copyright or whatever. Yeah. That's funny. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Let's see, is that remotely true? It is true. 584-2189. Yeah, that is him. But let me see. Which is a bit of a plot hole because JoJo Part 2 takes place years before the Action Comics #1 came out, or that's what people told me anyway. Oh. Huh, I hadn't thought about that actually. Maybe in the JoJo's timeline, everything is weird and that's why that happened? Question mark? Let me see. Trying to see here. This feels like it could be something. But I'll get to that later. How about he used his card, but how about this? There we go. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. That's an order, though. Then I am good at waiting. Yeah. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something has to be his... You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So, now, what does all this mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his card. You said your anniversary was this Saturday, right? Anything special for it? Nothing hugely special, because this is just my, like, streaming anniversary. I will have something a little bigger probably by the time I go for the, my VTuber anniversary, which is in April. That's when I started being a VTuber. So, that point, maybe this Saturday I'm just gonna be, like, playing the same game I played in my first stream, which was Melty Blood. Which I have done a few times since then, but, you know. What can I say? I like Melty Blood. I like playing Melty Blood. I like the way it feels on my tongue. So, yeah. Melty Blood. Maybe I'll get out of D rank. Who knows? Maybe I'll be good enough to get into C rank. That took so freaking long to figure out. Yeah. Kinda did. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Kumquat. No, what is it? Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. Is that Spanish or... Yes, Mr. Wright, it's Spanish. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. And therefore, nobody died. What voice am I even doing for Edgeworth at this point? No matter, you still reached your 1-year anniversary of streaming on YouTube. That's also something to be celebrated. That's true. Yeah. I guess it's kind of a good sign that I didn't just, like, quit or completely lose all of the people watching my stuff in that time. We're proud of you, Arrow. Oh, thanks, Firewall. Couldn't do it without you and John and everyone. Really, just everyone who comes to watch my stream and enjoy my content. Y'all are great. Y'all make this worth it. That is, well, I guess that's right, yeah. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. Have I? The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, The underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Elena Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. No, you're great, Arrow. No, you're breathtaking. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Or Lana, whatever, however I pronounce her name. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do the oldest state's attorney trick in the book, which is just object and hope for the best. Because, man, usually that's what it is. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yep, just showed Sonic the Hedgehog. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Chuck Norris. No. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Not you. He's 60. Wait, how old is Gumshoe? He's actually 30. Really? 29, 16. Phoenix, I believe, is 24. She's 31, which really shocks me there. He's 36. He's 33. He's 22. Alright. I believe in nothing anymore. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Cowboy Man. He's from LA. Oh, that's funny. That's so weird to hear. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. It's gotta be the cowboy. It's gotta be the cowboy, right? Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. It's almost the same time here as it is in the game. Off by like 10 minutes. Anyway. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, Pales. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, Pale, making a detective run around while on duty. Run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, Pale. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. Chief Prosecutor Sky. I never realized how early in the day you start streaming. It's for me, it's either really early or really late, depending on, like, where I am. Sometimes I gotta move around a bit, but, like, you know. Either way. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? You mean this, right? Hey, I'm walking here. Brooklyn. Hey, pal. Hey, pal. My apologies, Detective. In my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received from Lena Sky. And take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Gumshoe went through all 5 stations of grief simply by looking at Lana. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good way of putting it. Yeah, he went through every possible delivery of a hey before he arrived at the one he wanted. Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident... Is that... That's classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. Well, at least he has the name of a serial killer. The Joe Dark... No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. I expect no less from a New Yorker. Oh, of course. Oh, man. Yeah. Hey there, pal. Am I from New York or am I from Boston? Boston. Am I from Doesn't matter. Anyway. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lena and Emma. Or Lana and... However, how am I pronouncing her name? Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back on the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. To be continued. Sure, because I learned my mistake. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lena Skye. Okay, let's check these actually. Incident number SL9. Closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence, death. Okay. So good, so far, so normal. Victims. Edward Jones, Edith Kirby. He killed Kirby? Man. What did he use? Like a down smash or like... Imagine you could fade out... Imagine you could fade out to get out of awkward situations like characters do in VNs. Yeah, just like that one meme where the guy does the peace sign and he just fades out of existence. That would be amazing. Like, the IRS shows up at your door, Arrowhead, you haven't been doing your taxes. And I'm like, hey, and then I just kind of fade out. Because we all know how the Wisconsin accent is the most welcoming American accent. Oh yeah, it is. Unless I'm thinking the wrong one. I might be thinking of a different accent, but oh yeah, Wisconsin, we love our cheese, that's all we have here. Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall, who's probably related to Jake Marshall, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. Wait, how did Emma not remember being a witness in a court case unless that was like the thing she... Whatever. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lena Skye, and head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Okay, so... Revenge plot. What? Yeah, that makes sense. For... Yeah, Jake Marshall, that makes sense. I'm wondering then, why did, Emma react the way she did? Because it doesn't seem like she was tied in this. I thought it would be like, oh, her parents were killed by him or something like that, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Huh. She probably blocked it from her memory. That could be. Alright, well, anyway. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Lana, we're calling it Lana now. That's the name we're going with. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. And also probably the murderer. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. Also said Goodman was an investigator of the incident. Yeah, but that's something I already kind of knew about that. That's like the whole thing was that like, oh, he was the head investigator of the SL9 incident. And then it's like, yeah. That's it, that's why Emma wants to become a detective, because her parents were murdered in front of her. Probably. She wants to find out who did it, even though we probably already did, or something like that. It sounds like Batman. Could be. As for my name, if you listen hard... If you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. And then all of his stuff is just in Algerian font from here on out. In the end, Emma thought she was the Bat when in fact she was just Jason Todd. Oh, that would be funny. Just, she comes back in with like a J burnt into her face and she's like, Phoenix, you didn't solve the murder in time. That's why this happened to me. And Phoenix is like, what are you talking about? Then Maya comes back and she's like, Tim Drake. Or I guess she was I guess Maya would technically be Dick Grayson because she was our first sidekick. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. But that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. It's not alcohol, most likely, I think. Are you allowed to drink while being on the stand as a witness? I mean, for his sake, I hope so. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, I'm just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Dude, Maya Nightwing, I want to see that. That's like in the future games where she's like a little more grown up and kind of does her own stuff for the most part. And then Phoenix is like older Batman when he's like an older attorney. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. And you just kind of did. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I meant the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yeah, but what about the fingerprint activated locks in the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. And Apollo becomes Batman Beyond. Exactly, yeah! That totally works. And then like, you know those, what was it called? I've got the name of the game. The one where it's like back in time and it's like, you've got Sherlock Holmes helping you. You got, you know, you've got a sword you're carrying around. You're like a samurai, but you're also in court cases and all that. Greatest Attorney, I think it is. That one. And then that's like Ninja Batman or something. Yeah, that totally works. Or I guess since we're all lawyers, it'd be more like Daredevil when you get down to it, but either way. He's not that good with machines. Or with following orders. Which would probably put into, like, perspective why he's a patrolman and not a detective anymore, but either way. Everyone's got their weaknesses, Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? It's high noon. I'm Red Dead Redemption 2. The Greatest Attorney, that was it, yeah. This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna press him on the bone orchard thing just because... Actually, I guess I kind of have to, don't I? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? The news Edgeworth, that's the question. Like, I guess maybe, like, maybe Azrael? But not really even then, because that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Batman doesn't really have a lot of, like, good rivals, I don't think, that are, like, similar to him, but not quite the same. Or I guess you could say maybe Edgeworth is, like... trying to think. I feel like... Maybe Harvey Dent before he becomes Two-Face, but even then that's kind of like a... It's kind of a stilted comparison. Black Mask? Black Mask might work. Black Mask seems reasonable enough for the most part. Except, wait, didn't Black Mask at one point, like, kill Catwoman's sister's fiance with, like, a bunch of tools, then feed him to his Catwoman's sister and make her go crazy? I could've... Okay, maybe not Black Mask then, Riddler? He asks a lot of questions, you know. He also wears, like, a lot of gaudy suits. Trying to think. I don't know, we'll get back to that one. Or maybe the Penguin. Oh, he said to be the same skill level, that's true, yeah. Yeah, Black Mask could work. I just make sure none of them moved on the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them. Videos and nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. Either Prometheus or Hush. Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's true. Both of them. I completely forgot about both of them. Yeah, no, that absolutely works. Prometheus or Hush. Either way. Maybe a little more on Hush. I feel like he's a little more, like, of a tie to Batman, but, like... Yeah, let's say Hush. Why not? Penguin would be cool. Yeah. I guess Penguin could technically also be, like, Grossberg in a way. Maybe. Or Von Karma. Actually, wait, he's a little too small to be Von Karma, isn't he? Von Karma is more like the Bane of the lawyer world. Just because he's so big and, like, menacing. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my own life. Yep, sure, dude. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. He said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? You heard a word I said, partner. I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime... Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. I mean... Nope, that was the wrong move. Should've just pressed him, Jake can be Jonah Hex. Oh yeah, because the cowboy. Yeah, that works perfectly. Well, that was a noof. Alright. The Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight. Who would Arkham Knight be? I guess that's technically still, you know, on the off chance of the spoiler for anyone at this point, I'm not going to say who it is, but, yeah, technically that's already taken. But anyway. Let's see. Let's just press him on this, why not? You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. AKA not Red Hood. Yeah. Kinda. Kinda already taken there. I will say, I feel like that game made it a little too obvious in the lead up to who the Arkham Knight was. But overall, still a good game. I like the Batmobile. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors in the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? I remember right as I was at a street side saloon the time it went down. You're allowed to just leave work at that time of day and just go to a bar? The witness is somehow worse than the cop. Yeah? This guy's just like... He lives in his own dimension. He does not live in this plane of existence. He just doesn't. It doesn't happen. I've noticed that when I open my mouth a certain level, I have like fangs in my teeth. If you zoom in close enough, you might be able to see it. Okay, never mind. Nah, disregard that. What were you doing in a place like that? Honestly, I'm not exactly sure why they decided to advertise Arkham Knight as this brand new part of the Arkham mythos. Yeah, that was kind of a weird choice. All things considered, I especially remember there was like an interview leading up to the game's release where they were like, oh, an Arkham Knight, entirely new character. And it's like, really? Is he though? Like, he was cool, I like the outfit and design and all that, but like... I mean, that was kind of a weird way to advertise it, I think. I mean, honestly, they probably could have just had it say who it was and then still have been like, oh, they're finally introducing this character. That's a cool way to close all this out. And, well, anyways, either way, I thought the game was great, disregarding some of the other problems it had. Namely, just, it's that. But, like, yeah. They could have used Red X. Yeah, they could have used Red X. They absolutely could have used Red X. I'm kind of shocked he still never showed up. Kind of a little sad about that personally, but yeah. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Ah, he's a spaghetti western guy. Ha ha ha. Not even Angel Steak lunches can beat that Paula's Mongol sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. The food type was not the issue here. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. It's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Hold on, let's... Is there anything that contradicts that? That shows where he would have been? Oh. Never mind. I thought that might have had his name in the list. Oh well. Yeah, why is the shield broken? I never found that out. Let's see. No. Oh wait, maybe the fingerprint. But then that's not necessarily the time link thing. Huh. Let's see. We could have dusted the card for fingerprints. That's a thought there. Trying to think, what would have worked for that? Does the noodle place have a worker that can confirm his testimony? Yeah, that's... I'd have to imagine they would remember seeing a cowboy. Funnily enough, people also speculated how Red X is just Jason before he took off the mantle of Red Hood. Before he took on the mantle of Red Hood. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess because, yeah, no, that lines up. For the most part. That's a cool theory. Just because, they never revealed who Red X was, right? That was the whole thing, is that, like, everyone was like, oh, who's Red X? We want to see more Red X, but they never actually showed who Red X was. It would make sense if it was Jason, just because it's a similar, like, moniker and all that. Similar idea. Let's see. Anything that contradicts everything he said. As far as I know, there is not. Anything that proves he was there. Alright, let's press him on this last thing. Well, the cowboy said he hadn't gone in the evidence locker in ages, so the fingerprints would prove that false. That is true. Let me see. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. Man, I load my gun with evidence every time I play an FPS. Oh, finding evidence is usually one of the hardest parts. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. Then like, one of us just pulls out a gun and shoots him. We just completely misunderstood what he was trying to tell us to do. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. In Teen Titans Show, they never actually tell you his real identity, but Red X in the main DC canon does have a name. Okay. Alright, yeah. That makes more sense. I remember him mostly being popular for Teen Titans, and I was like, I kind of forgot that he was like a thing in the actual, like, wider DC mythos. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. So you do have a car or something. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante. Let's see. What can I do to prove that he was in there? Trying to see what would prove without a doubt that it was him. Half-written document dated to 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police 3 times a day. Man, either the murderer was him, or E.T. had a real grudge against the guy. I've got something here. I have some variety of a thing. What can I object to? What do I got? I mean, every time you shoot someone in FPS, you're proving that you're better than the opponent. Oh, that is true. That is very true. Alright, let's see. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, traces of victim's blood, no prints. He said he hadn't been there in ages, but I need, like, the actual phrase to object to. Let's see, hold on. Keep a wary eye on it. So wait, could I present here the video and then try to get that done, or? 3 times a day, that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. And technically, that's wrong, but he didn't know about that. So... But wait, wouldn't that mean it was easier for him to just go up to the locker thing then and just open it because he thought it would all do that? Or... Street side saloon. Maybe the fingerprints here? Probably not this. Let's see. Alright, let's try the handprint here. Okay, good. Good. Officer Marshall. Doesn't it strike you as odd? Phoenix says that more times in a month than most people do in their entire life. Doesn't it strike you as odd is like his catchphrase. That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet, you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I'll pay my respects, that is, I'll make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head in his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints, found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be the same place as that blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched my locker where the fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? It had nothing to do with I had nothing to do with it. Unless they were his fingerless gloves right there. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. I honestly kind of agree with that, but not the point. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Something's wrong. I can feel it. Rap God! Rap God! Now's my chance to prove it. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. Happened to be the same place as the bloodstained handprint. Not sure if I agree with that one. Let's just press him on everything. Why not? That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. What about the exposed jacket in the evidence room? Good question. I'm probably gonna hit up that in a sec. Just to let him... I got that. Wait, hold on. Actually, what did I think? Can I check the video? Because that would prove it, whether or not. Well, the jacket was there from the start, at least. It seems. Unless he took it on the walk over. Nope, still there. Hmm. Let's see. Let's watch to the end. Have you checked the badge in 3D? I think I did that a few episodes ago. A few episodes of this ago. Yep, nothing. Well, I'm just happen to be the same place as that bloodstained handprint. Alright. Damn it, yeah, that was a while ago, sorry. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. What? Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You know, you wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's the type of murder. Or, if you killed like Toucan Sam, it would be both. Oh, Toucan Sam and the Trickster Bunny. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Was he? Hold on, wait. That doesn't feel right. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. You starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? A seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. I think they eat intestines, not blood, but... There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. This guy's still pretty sus. Or really sus. What do you mean by that? You want to time into this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Oh, in that case, nighttime is a blind spot for me. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us the evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. I'll chance it, sure. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Wait, it's that little corner fabric that comes out of the one locker in the tape, on the very left of the scene. Wait, let's... Okay, so it's not there now. And then it will be there. Wow, that is a really good sign, yeah. Forgot about that. Good call there, Johnny boy. John, whatever you want to be called, Jonathan. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. There it is! There it is! There it is! There it is! Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Wait, let me... Very well, that's 2. You can clearly be seen in... Oh yeah, it is 8 words. Not counting the first 2. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in this video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Ooh, yeah, that was a good call. Man, you're smart. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? It doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Did you miss the part where it was? The murderer needed to hide something, so we opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. And I told him already, so... I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I'll call your bluff. You say you opened that locker, now prove it. A fingerprint sensor? Also, you know Jake Marshall's pun name? It's oh, that makes sense. Fake Marshall. Oh, that's funny. I thought it was just Marshall because of the cowboy thing, but man, that makes a lot of sense. Still trying to figure out who, like what Damon Gant is, and I don't know. Whatever. Maybe Demon Gant, but then he's not like a the murderer or anything, so... We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. And Neil Marshall stands for Real Marshall. Oh, okay. That's funny. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No, that's 6? No, wait, that is 8. Never mind. Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself. That was 9 words with the no. If this isn't a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Gant is French for gloves, and Damon is a play on the word demon. I figured Damon was demon, but is Jake a cowboy name? Never knew that. I mean, maybe it's like a reference to like a Western movie where there was a main character named Jake, but like... I don't know, I think fake Marshall makes a little more sense there, and then Neil Marshall is Real Marshall, and then that makes sense. I get that. We're going with that. That's the story we're sticking with. Now then, please tell us what you were doing at the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. Gant loves playing Demon Souls. And Joe Dark loves playing Dark Souls. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Aha! Jake the Cowboy is a popular character. Really? Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the scene at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure, but he didn't know. He said he didn't. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed that to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Is that cowboy speak or just lawyer speak? Might as well be both. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're going to have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Second time he said that. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of doubt that my beard is cool? That Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. Show them the badge! The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Oh, there we go. Like every case closed episode. The classic, but this is all circumstantial evidence. I need hard evidence. Your Honor, I couldn't properly identify his face because a huge shadow randomly cast down on his face. Oh, yeah. Even if Meekin saw Marshall's, his face would have been conveniently covered by a heavy amount of set shading to make the scene more dramatic. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that it might be discovered later, as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime, and after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Now let's not forget the part where Phoenix has to construct, like, a manga page to show how the murder happened. Or else everyone gets executed. Anyway, Danganronpa jokes aside, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. Man, they really made the video at Capcom and was like, man, I spent 80 hours making this video. We're gonna put the video in at least like 10 times, you know? And the judge is probably gonna be like, but why do we have to open the locker? And then you say that the jacket had blood on it. Yeah. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open up his locker. Let's see. Why he had to open up his locker. I'm gonna guess it's because of the blood in his shoulder. Let's try that. Let's try the blood in his shoulder. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A real attorney wanted to have on record how the defendant had just had his hair cut despite... A real attorney wanted to have on record how the defendant just had his hair cut despite the fact the other day he didn't have a haircut, and somehow that's relevant to the case. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the video with the stupid lawyer quotes with Ace Attorney set to it. That was hilarious. Those were all great. And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm never happy. Are you alright, Edgeworth? No. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are now, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have had to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out, and managed to escape. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Ooh. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. That's why he basically sent like a super chat's worth of blood. He sent like a red super chat full of like a gallon of blood. It being probably SL9. Let's try this. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. But doctor, are you sure the victim was dead before you performed the autopsy? Yes, I was. Why? Because his brain was on it was in a jar on my desk. Yeah, what a legend for being able to knock someone out while also covering your face with the flag that Sonic was holding. Yeah, you know, he really planned this out. Really figured out every possible move except this one. Foiled by his own incompetence with technology. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? I know why, because his dad or brother or a relative of his was killed or whatever. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So, you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that during the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. Left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Ooh. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out, but... You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his ways this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Objection, Your Honor. I just had a finger transplant. Oh, honestly, I would not put it past this game series to put that in at some point. Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry that turned out that way. Man, they could put him down for like assault even if he didn't kill anyone. Assault with a deadly weapon, no less. He used a knife. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knock out Officer Meekins and... So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. So did you research beforehand? So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I don't think it would make a difference though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all has gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. Assaulting Meekins is a freebie the first time around. Yeah, you know, everyone just kind of gets a free hit in on Officer Meekins, you know, who's all meek and in. Sometimes we even stuff Meekins into the lockers, you know, it's like he's just so Meekin. What was Officer Meekin doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene clearly indicates some crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown in that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. I mean, we have some of it right here with us. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Meekins was shoving himself in lockers. I believe it. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. You are literally on the stand, accused of killing a guy. Well, not accused of killing a guy, but accused of being a killed guy. That's kind of the same thing, except not. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. That means the cowboy didn't even do that much wrong, I guess. I mean, kinda? Do you have evidence of the missing evidence? That's a good question. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. You know why? I'm gonna guess... Officer Marshall. I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. It'll quench your thirst. It's the quenchiest. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. 2 years ago. Oh, he had the trophy. So he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? I mean, he still beat up a police officer, and so in real life that would result in jail time, but in the Ace Attorney universe, he's gonna walk scot-free. Yeah, probably. Also, scot-free is probably a character in Ace Attorney. Or he will be at some point. That just sounds like an Ace Attorney name. The Witness, scot-free. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of funny. He must be talking about the King of the Prosecutors Award. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, then Deputy Chief of Police. The then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark had left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. Okay, if he left behind evidence that time, I'm guessing that maybe it wasn't Dark that killed him. Technically, the police officer attacked first. No, actually, he pulled a knife on the guy, so that still, you know, that was self-defense at that point. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. And that's your reasoning. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Technically, the police officer. Oh, no, I already read that comment. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. But he could have just pulled out the knife to trim his beard. Yeah, but... you know, that's kinda... a little sus when you get down to it. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder of the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one. Lies, contradictions, attorney's badge, stepladder long ago. Stepladder. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the lies attacked. Only the Ace Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed and Maya discovered the new avatar. A truth bender named Phoenix. Or a contradiction bender named Phoenix. No, an Ace Attorney's badge. I could have made the joke funnier. I messed up my own stupid joke. That was already a spin-off of a different joke. Alright. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police... Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But... There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Contradiction Bender is actually a good name. Yeah. Everyone is such a Prose-cutie. Aw, thank you, John. You're a Prose-cutie, too. Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office, and the only suspect is Lana Skye. And the territory of one Miss Angel Star is completely uncontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Arrgh! I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder in the security cameras tape really was fake. But I didn't realize I would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Which defendant? Your Honor, wait! Your Honor, wait! How does Miles Edgeworth have so much power despite always losing to an attorney who didn't even complete law school? That's the question we all gotta ask ourselves, honestly. When someone says make your answer in one word or less, just write your argument with no spaces in between the words so it looks like one word. Oh, yeah. I think she's innocent because the stuff I think. Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Have you heard of Raid Shadow Legends? Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Oh, nice. These prosecutors are overpowered in this universe. Yeah. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Your Honor, are you interested in this Judge Judy NFT? It's scientifically approved as being epic. Oh, I love Judge Judy. It inspired me to become a judge, and also change my name to Judy. Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. I'm just a boy. She's just a girl. Could I get any more obvious? I don't know the rest of the words to this song that I've heard a lot. Emma, you're a little awkward from Konosuba. Kinda. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, the handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Judge, aren't you like way older than Judge Judy? Oh yes, I became a judge about 6 months ago. Oh, I was an assassin for that. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object. Always the right answer. The handprint left at the crime scene. The handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing to the floor plans? Guys, I'm pretty sure with this one. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. What about that piece of plywood? Defender of the truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot in the locker. What? Just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I would not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but at least it doesn't sound sir-fetched. Certified yo moment, exactly. But it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown in this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand that you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark in the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Not this one, it had to be earlier in the day. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been... ID card report easy. Yeah, exactly. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Alright, but then who's 777777? Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime scene took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out, it doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Unless you're using OxyClean. Buy or order today. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. Uh-oh, stinky. Something smells, exactly. He went in with 77777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that. I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who's a so-called executive officer. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous! Just say how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge is filed against an executive... And if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you were to keep your slander to yourself. You know, I bet he just has a video on YouTube that says, like, Edgeworth slander, or something like that. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask the questions. Yes. No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Lana? I'm starting to get tired and it's been 3 hours. From unintentionally leaving fingerprints on the weapon of a murder who didn't commit to entering a crime scene just before the crime happened, Edgeworth says Edgeworth should really stop incriminating himself. Yeah. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. It's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident. SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Ooh, that's a question. You know what? I say we stop there for today. Just because it's been 3 hours and, you know, I've got 5 days in a row this week. Might as well. The straightest prosecutor in the West is Marshall showing fan art of Edgeworth and Wright making out. Oh, he would, wouldn't he? Oh, that's funny. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop it off here. So, guys, I am Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. Tomorrow, I'll be back with some Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. That'll be fun. I'm positive it'll be a blast. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique. But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good. Either way, that'll be tomorrow. I hope to see you all there. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Take care, Firewall. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now. I will go charge. Thank you.